Hey, it's Tim.
And it's Amy from GoWithLess. We're glad you're here. In this week's video, we're going to share all of our August spending with you. We hope you'll watch the whole video.
Amy and I retired in our late 40s, and in January of 2020, we sold our home and became full-time nomads. Every Wednesday here on our channel, we are talking about our nomadic fire life. On the second Wednesday of every month, we are talking about our spending for the prior month. So this month, we're going to be talking about our spending in August. We are targeting spending $3,000 a month. We got off to a bad start this year because of some medical stuff, and it seems like we're actually making some progress, so I might be letting the cat out of the bag there, but anyway, there you go.
Okay, before we get into August, I do want to say that our format has changed a little bit. So I now look at these monthly check-ins as like a little conversation with us, with you, just kind of like a sofa chat, even though we're outside. But what we're doing on the other weeks is, I call it Go With Us in a city. So Go With Us Philadelphia, for example, is where we are right now. So the other weeks is kind of tagging along with us during our week. We meet all kinds of cool people and do all kinds of fun stuff in our life. So on those other weeks, I hope you'll still check out those videos because I think they're fun. Now, what I want to talk about is where were we in August before we get really into the numbers. We started the month in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico on a house sit for just about 9 days. For 5 nights, we were in Guanajuato, Mexico, staying, kind of crashing with friends. They had an extra apartment and they let us use that apartment, which was really, really amazing. And then we flew to the United States. We had an overnight in Houston where we used some Hyatt points, so we had a free night. And then we flew to Philadelphia where we have been ever since on a house sit. So the only thing that is in our budget at all that came out of our pocket is that one free Hyatt night, which wasn't even money, it was out of points.
Our budget for lodging.
Yeah, our budget for lodging. So yeah, so you won't see a lot of housing stuff in this month's budget, which is great because you saw a lot of other stuff. And why don't you take the first category?
Yep, so our first category is going to be food and dieting. And
dieting?
We're
definitely not
dieting. Dining. And so this month we blew it again in terms of this category, in terms of where we spent the most money. So this is our largest category. We spent $1,210. For us, that is a lot of money in a given month. Not as bad as last month, but still we spent a lot of money on food. We always say, or we've said for the past few weeks anyway, past few months anyway, that we are living our best life when this category is our largest. So we must be living our best life at the moment.
And I don't know if you slipped with dieting, but maybe we should be doing a little dieting because this is going to be catching up with us really soon, and we're going to be having a lot more clothes in our budget.
Another cat out of the bag. I think we're on cheesesteak number 5 in terms of the...
We've already finished cheesesteak number 5.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, we're crazy. So, and that includes dining out and groceries. Just a couple notable... Ooh, there's a wasp or a bee. So our friend came on down to see us in Princeton, New Jersey, Adam, and he had a really expensive train ticket because when he got on the train, they charged him an additional $66 just to get like an hour or two on the train. So really a brief train ride, completely crazy. We said, we will take you out to lunch. It was the most expensive meal of our entire month, and that was $89. That was in Princeton, New Jersey. Just a nice thing to do. We did pay a premium for that because we wanted to sit outside because of COVID times. It was going to be a super rainy day, so we said, let's pay the premium, go to the only place that had covered outside seating. It was a French place, of course, $89.
Our second big spend in this food and dining category is going to be on a Go With Us event that we had here in Philly, and it was $73 at a place called Morgan's Pier where we had a bunch of friends join us. How many people were there, Amy?
There were 12 of us
12 of us. And so we were there for a long time, and so that gave me an opportunity to consume a lot of beer, and so we spent $73 on that event.
I don't think I had anything to drink.
You ate something, though.
I ate. That's not drinking.
That's not.
So we enjoyed lunch there, and we've said this before, we're not trying to live the world's cheapest retirement, and certainly having $73 for a lunch out is not being super cheap. So next in this food and dining category is we are back with starting some of the meal prep services. So we had 2 deliveries from Blue Apron. It turns out that was the favorite that we have used so far. So we've tried a couple different services. We really have liked Blue Apron. The food has been a next level kind of gourmet. And we had 2 different deliveries. We got a really special rate because we had them. We left because we were out of the country. So they kind of enticed us back with a special deal. And we were able to get 3 meals for only $24, like 3 2-person meals. So that was really, really great. So I would highly recommend Blue Apron and as a nomad, I think this is just the perfect thing because we don't always have all kinds of ingredients and staples that I would have had with a home. So Blue Apron gets you everything but olive oil, salt, and pepper. The food is delicious. We eat a little bit healthier because they have a lot of veggies in them.
Yeah,
Good
so,
stuff.
so since we can't travel with
Delicious.
1,000 spices, this kicks up our cooking game
Yeah.
15 notches.
And
so
they have
we really
more
like it.
involved ingredients.
Yeah,
So we
that's a good
actually
thing.
are traveling with like maybe 30 or 40 spices, but they have things that I've never even heard of, and spice blends and all kinds of I don't know, condiments and things that are not like your normal stuff. So good for the Blue Apron.
Definitely. So our second largest category for the month of August is going to be health and fitness. We spent $125 this month in this category. The vast majority of that was antigen tests that we had in terms of testing for COVID when we were in Mexico. Amy had a test independent of me to see if she had COVID because she actually was sick a little bit. And then we had to have COVID tests to get back into the country. And those two tests were three tests, I guess, were $103.
Yeah, so the other stuff was like toiletries and stuff in that category. Number 3, auto and transportation, $112. Pretty easy. That breaks down into $83 for gas and $29 for parking. The parking is entirely in Philadelphia. Something crazy. Philadelphia has been just great, but the parking is nuts. Number 1, you pay to park on Sundays. I don't know when the last city we've ever been in, you had to pay to park at meters on Sundays. Philadelphia, you do. And by accident, we forgot to pay our meter. We ran out 10 minutes later, and we'd already had a ticket. So the person who does the writing the tickets, I don't know what a meter maid is called, they were just like a couple cars down. They had just nabbed us. It had not even been 10 minutes. The person who I mentioned it, we were at a museum. I mentioned it at the museum. She said, definitely dispute that. I don't really know that I have a leg to stand on. We forgot to pay the meter. It doesn't seem so legitimate. But I did email to dispute it. So that's $36. That has not hit our budget yet. So if you never hear from us again, that means that they accepted that, which I don't see happening. And otherwise, you're probably going to see it in our September spending.
Here's the beauty of once you get the ticket, though, you can park all day. So you can just sit there on the street as long as you want, even if it's beyond the window that you're allowed. So
That's what we did.
So we did that.
We had a full day.
That's exactly right. So our next largest expense is going to be home and lodging at number 4. In that category, we spent only $100, and so no, we didn't have to pay to have a roof over our head. This is for our storage. Most of this is for our storage. $90 out of that $100 is for storage that we have a 5x10. I always get this wrong.
5x10.
There you go. All of our
Monthly
belongings
storage.
belong there, are there.
Yeah, and then the other $10 is for our mail service, just a little top-off fee for our postage. Number 5 is shopping, $81. $72 is for Amy's clothes. Amy is getting bored of her clothes. As a matter of fact, I just took off the tags off of this today. I was so excited. So it's like new school clothes shopping time, and I am bored of my clothes. So I bought, I think 4 different pieces. They weren't super cheap, so 2 of them were at the mall, which I usually buy my stuff at consignment shops or Goodwills, but thrift stores. But this time I went to the mall. I got 2 like off-season, like super discounted things. 4 pieces, $72. I get super happy with having a few new items.
Yep. Our 6th largest expense this month is going to be for utilities, and that was completely taken up by Amy's Google Fi service. We spent $35 this month. Something else that we did this month is my Mint Mobile renewed for an entire year. I had credits that I had accrued for a variety of things, so this isn't reflected in our budget. This was prepaid, but that was like $180 that was already just sitting there in the bank, but it did happen to renew this month.
And actually, that would have been from referrals from viewers, right?
I think probably so.
Yeah, and so speaking of, we have a whole video all about both of our sales services, and in that is a link if you want to go sign up for any of these services. It's a discount link, and it does give us some free credit too, so we appreciate that.
And we're fans.
And we're fans of it. That's why we did a video. Next up, number 7, miscellaneous. We spent only $20 in this category, and that is for a gift for homeowners at San Miguel de Allende. We bought them a really nice glass bowl, $20.
There you go. Number 8 is going to be entertainment. So entertainment includes our streaming services. I think we have a newspaper subscription, things like this. And so it was $20 that we spent in for entertainment this last month in August.
Yeah, we are very entertained for $20.
Very entertained.
Yeah. And our 9th and final category is taxes, and that would be a big 0 this month. So for the month of August, that brings our spending to $1,703. Tracking against a budget of $3,000. That is not too bad. So we want to give a little conversation here about our year to date. So if we're in the 8th month of August times $3,000, our year to date budget at this point should be $24,000. Right now we are at $26,802 when we count our August spending. So that brings us to just a hair under 112%. Considering my surgery back in March had a $6,500 in the hole just for that one thing, it's pretty amazing that we're only 112% of budget.
I think it's phenomenal. So we were just talking today in an extended conversation about how crazy it is that we're actually this close. So we didn't think whenever we had all this spending early in the year, there's not a chance. We've never done anything to really actively say we're going to do crazy things to try and make this number work. We would let our spending naturally happen throughout the year and see what happened. And so as it happens, the fact that we're this close is very shocking to me. And I think what we've determined is it's largely driven by our lodging expenses. So we've done some things in terms of with house sitting. That have brought our expenses down really low. And that wasn't by design. That wasn't something that just sort of naturally happened. The things that we like to do, we like to be in cities and places that are kind of pricey to be. And as we were looking at pricing this summer in particular, it was crazy high to be in an Airbnb. And it just worked out such that we were in house sits that sort of lined up. They're in places where we were in D.C., we're in Philadelphia, we're in cities that we want to be in. And we're in these fantastic situations, and it's kept our lodging cost really low.
Yeah, we have been house sitting almost continuously since December of 2020. That was not our plan.
No.
And as Tim mentions, we're in these cities. Cities are really expensive right now. So you might be able to get a good deal if you're in the middle of nowhere in America signing a year-long lease. We didn't want to do any of those things. So we are in these great cities, and house sitting has been the way to that, and it's been able to have us get, I guess, kind of close to our budget. We'll see at the end of the year. We have some medical expenses still coming up in the next few months. Some hotel expenses are coming up that we're going to be paying for out of pocket. So it's definitely not like a smooth sailing to the end of the year, because the end of the year tends to have some super duper big expenses for us. So and we also do a big charitable donation in December, so that will hit our budget as well. So again, I don't know that we're going to make our number, but we're going to be closer than I think we thought, and that's good.
I think that's incredible.
And it's like a mystery, so we're all going to see. Do we hit our budget? And I guess you have to all stay tuned for like 4 more months to figure that out. So here's the question I have of you. Can you believe that it is the end of the summer? That is not the question. The question is, what does your fall look like? How was your summer? I want to have a little check-in with you. Let me know what you've been up to down below. You've traveled along with us, seen what we're up to. It's kind of surprising that it's coming to an end right now. So enjoy your fall. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Adios.